Cheers.
So I'm just standing here outside Hotel Ket, which is a traditional Venetian hotel. And just down the end of the street, we have some very pretty looking gondolas. Now, I get the feeling that back in its day, this was a very luxurious hotel. It's actually a 4-star hotel. And I'm saying this because we've already spent the night at the point of filming this video. However, it was a little bit too dark to film when we first arrived last night. So I will show you the room tour in the dark, and then the room tour again in the light, and what we had for breakfast. And let's just say, not everything has gone to plan. And also in Venice, it's renowned for being very, very expensive. So let's just say you don't really get a lot for your money, but I will reveal how much it did cost at the end. And as we go in, you're about to see the entrance does look very grand and luxurious, but I think it might be past its heyday. So let's go have a look, and then I will show you the clips from last night as well. These are the gondolas at the end of the street first. So you could come in via gondola or water taxi if you wanted. And then just up the street is our hotel, Hotel Ket. Just in case you wanted to go shopping, there is a Gucci shop just down there. It is kind of in quite the luxurious district near St. Mark's Square, which might be why it's quite expensive for the money. I thought somebody was actually telling me to stop filming then, because that's the only problem as well with really little hotels that are like a bit boutiquey. It's obviously more obvious when you are filming, and you're not always allowed. But I am just a holiday maker, just filming and taking photographs just like anybody else. It's not sort of classed as professional filming that you would need a filming license for YouTube. Anyway, we are on our floor. Room 502. Let's see what Johnny is up to.
Welcome to M2 Cribs.
So even though, thank you Johnny, even though it is actually daylight, we don't have much actual light in this room. Obviously I am going to cut away to a clip how clean it was when we came last night, but it was even darker last night. So today's room tour went rather wrong. I'm supposed to come in, do the room tour while the room is still all clean, but we'd had such a long day travelling here that we went out, we watched the concert in Venice, we've come back, it's too dark to do the room tour. However, before the room or the bed is completely messed up, let's do the bed test. It's very large, it's very firm, the bed and the room is very traditional, but I'll give you the tour tomorrow, even though the room might not be quite as clean and tidy. Nighttime tour.
Daytime.
Little space to sit. I am going to give you a better tour in the daytime, but obviously This is the clean tour. One thing that we do like about it is it's all marble, it's all very traditional, but you know, it's Venice. Things are going to look old, they're going to look dated, and the one actual view we have of the canal is weirdly out of the bathroom window, but it might be the best bathroom window view ever. So if you want to just sit here on the edge of your bath or in your shower, you've got the view out of this window onto one of the canals and going down there. Now you'll see that in one of the other videos based in Venice, we actually have just been to a concert in St. Mark's Square of like classical music and opera, but because we're only, Johnny just turned the light out. Sorry. Because we're only here for 24 hours, we wanted to see the Grand Canal at night as well as in the daytime. So that will be the subject of another video. But for now, let's cut to a clip of me actually doing the room tour and the whole hotel tour, if I haven't already, of the hotel in the daytime, along with breakfast, and rating it and telling you how much it all costs, because you do not get good value for money in Venice. That is a view just out onto some rooftops, which I will show you in the next clip. And this is what it looks like in the daytime.
There's a leaky aircon.
Yep, we've just discovered, as Johnny's just said, we have got a leaky aircon, which I think was just, yep, there we go, in the process of dripping. Last night, I cannot remember whether I showed you all the minibar. That is the minibar that we have left a Coca-Cola inside, which will now be nice and cold. Obviously, there is a charge for this minibar, but we have got free tea and coffee. Now, I am going to try and look for some redeeming features on this tour. And the redeeming features, I think, was that it was a very nice firm bed to sleep in. The aircon, even though it's dripping, it was actually cool when Venice is very, very warm. Also, I personally quite like these old photographs around the room of Venice hundreds of years ago. And a highlight has been the marble, the marble worktops in the bathroom. And this little window through the shower, which goes out onto the canal. I was planning for this video to do an introduction in the beginning, show you all the entrance, a whole tour of the hotel. But obviously when we book things online, we don't always know what it is going to be like. And other than the very, very obvious lobby, as you saw when you walk in, there is only a lobby, then a breakfast room, and then our room, and very few rooms. So it's not really worked out how I wanted to. I will cut to some clips of the breakfast this morning. Also, another highlight has been, it's been a long time since I've stayed in a hotel that actually has a key and not a key card. And they actually have a slot where you leave your key, which I will show you right now, which I think Johnny has. So you can just go out and not worry about losing your key. Where is it? Where's the key? So, trying to get a light place to do this tour for you all. This is the huge key, and it probably weighs bordering on a kilogram, and it's solid brass, and you obviously just leave it behind the desk when you go out. It's been a long time since I've stayed in a hotel where you do that. But anyway, let me tell you how much money it was to stay here. So it was a shocking 240 euros for one night with breakfast, but we're a little bit disappointed. As grand as it probably once was, and classically, traditionally Venetian, we think it's been oversold a bit. For instance, our little window out onto the canal made it look like we could easily sit there, not sit half across a shower. We've also got a dripping air conditioning. There's only one socket in the whole room, which I get, a bit like my home back home. Old properties, it's hard to get electric and things. Electric sockets perhaps installed. And also, we thought we were getting a full breakfast. It didn't say continental. And we think that breakfast was a little bit also disappointing. For instance, we don't even think it was fresh orange juice. It was actually sort of diluted. Yeah. But to sum things up, it probably was once a very beautiful hotel back in its day, and you just have to expect to pay a lot for a hotel in Venice. But we did say that if we ever came back, we actually think we would risk an Airbnb somewhere, because you'd probably get a little bit better value. We just wanted to stay in a hotel this first time right near St. Mark's Square so that we knew where we were while we got our bearings. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this little unconventional review of a traditional Venetian hotel. But my tip would be that unless you are willing to spend sort of over £300, book an Airbnb. And if you do book a hotel for around the £250 mark, because believe me, there isn't anything out there for much less, maybe book somewhere on the Grand Canal so that you can easily sort of get to other things, because weirdly Venice is a lot bigger than people think, and once you're down in the old quarter at St. Mark's Square, you're a bit cut off because of the bridge access on the rest of the Grand Canal. See you in the next one. Bye!